For all you up and coming rockstar candle makers, whether beginner or intermediate, here's a list of 5 quick candle making tips to help you along the way. Subscribe to the channel for more, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a quick thumbs up below. Let's go ahead and start the list. Number 1. The 80-20 rule. It's said that 80% of results come from 20% of your actions. This is also called the Pareto Principle. This means that identifying the most important factors to focus on will lead to significantly better results and success, rather than focusing on all the little things that make very little impact. In candle making, this is about fragrance and scent throw. Customers care about fragrance and the strength of the scent in your candle more than anything else, more than the jar, the type of wax, and even the price. While there are always exceptions, and certainly all factors in candle making are important, if you focus on scent above everything else, you are focusing your effort where it matters most. Scent is king. Now, another example of this is focusing your efforts in the right areas with things like social media, marketing, website, business, and so on. Regardless of what your goal is, the majority of the impact will come from a limited number of actions and steps. So take your time to focus and plan. Number 2. Wick size matters. Most seasoned candle makers will contend that the wick is the engine that makes the entire candle go. Without a properly burning candle, fragrance throw will not be at its maximum. Wax consumption might be too fast or too slow. The candle may tunnel and struggle to stay lit, or worse yet, could become a safety hazard. But there is no one-size-fits-all wick. In fact, there is no one wick type fits all either. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of wick types for a reason. They each are meant for different applications and perform better in some waxes versus others. And there are often dozens or more sizes of each of those wick types as well. Once a type of wick has been chosen, selecting the right size of that wick is of equal importance. It is common for new candle makers to select a wick based off of only a couple tests, or even just one test. But it's important to know that wick size can change even based off of the fragrance oil you are using. Again, testing is key, and wick size matters. Number 3. You can't take too many notes. Document everything you do when experimenting and making candles, especially when you're first getting started. The date, the wax, your fragrance, your process like pour temperature, your wick type and wick sizing, jar size, and so on. You will be learning so much in the early stages, and it can be hard to determine what might be relevant and what might not. So take note of everything just so you have to refer to it in the future. You will thank yourself later for being so diligent. This will save you time, money, and most importantly, your sanity. You have full permission to totally geek out and track everything you can to every little detail. It can be fun, but also really rewarding. Number 4. Trust but verify. You have probably already discovered that there is a wealth of information out there to help you with candle making. Websites, blogs, Facebook groups, YouTube channels, books, and more. Much of the information is great. Some is speculative, and most will entirely depend on specific ingredients and materials being used and may or may not even apply to your situation. So my advice is to soak in what you can to get a good starting point. Use tips given by other candle makers. Use resources to get you going in the right direction, but as with any other advice, verify. It can be tough when you first start making candles to know what is good information and what is not, or what simply just doesn't apply to you. So it is important to trust information to a degree to get you going, but it's more important to put that information to the test yourself. It may be helpful, it may not be, or it may just need to be adapted a little. So learn what you can, but nothing beats experimentation and testing. Number 5. Keep it simple. It is very easy to fall in love with almost every fragrance oil you try, especially when you first get started. It is very easy to see amazing fancy products that experienced candle makers have been making for years. You may find yourself eager to try every wax you can get your hands on and inside of every new jar that you come across. But spare your sanity and the risk of burnout and keep things simple early on. Choose a direction and focus. Create a plan and stick to it. For example, I'm going to only start with these 4 scents in this jar with this wax and go. If you find success, then run with it and then expand. But if you hit a wall, then start swapping out variables one at a time. It may be just a single fragrance oil that's giving you fits, so swap it out for another. Or perhaps none of the fragrance oils are working well, or you're struggling with wicking. well then perhaps it is time to sample a new wax. The point is, have a method and keep it simple. If candle making becomes too stressful, you will stop enjoying it and quit before you really give yourself a chance. While there are a plethora of candle making tips I could have mentioned, I hope these 5 stick with you. If you are interested in more candle making tips, tutorials, inspiration, and more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel below. Check out one of the next 2 videos on the screen. And lastly, I would appreciate it if you lit up that like button below, and I will see you all next time. Thanks.